what measures the government has in place to cushion its citizens in that manner, Mr. Speaker. I also want to comment on the statement by Senator Muma on shortage of special teachers for the special learners.
Mr. Speaker, it's sad to note that only 2.1% of the teaching workforce is tailored towards the special needs education, Mr. Speaker. And even the few that we have are moving to regular schools and deserting, the special needs students. So I feel that TSC, the Ministry of Education, need to prioritize special education because we have so many learners out there who are disabled and are lacking from major basic needs like education, health, and many other aspects which they are entitled to, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I wish to urge our counterparts in the ministry, in the National Assembly, to prioritize much funding to this sector of special education so that those children who have special needs equally benefit, so that we are not just lamenting that we do not have enough teachers to train them, but doing something to train those teachers. And I believe that this Montet-led committee is going to look into this matter and bring substantive answers to the House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Abbas.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to complete on the integrated payroll systems that has been a concern for many times. Yes, Honorable Speaker, as for the last 15 years, the counties that are still using manual payrolls, and this actually has created a lot of, an opaque kind of payments, and it has encouraged corruption. And actually, constitutionally, the members or the employees are supposed now to become, some of them, most of them under the manual payroll are actually casuals and contracts. And you'll see employees of the counties, some of the counties, who are in payroll, manual payrolls for almost 10 years, and they've not been confirmed in the appointment. And that's actually illegal itself. One other thing, Honorable Speaker, counties are not submitting the certain elections. People, when most of the county employees, especially those they have inherited from the local governments, are now going for retirement, and today they cannot be able to access their pensions and their benefits as a result, because they have not been submitting it. And this actually really affected the pensioners. Now, therefore, I think this is the high time now, this House, we should take action against this kind of business, that all counties must go into integrated payroll. They stop giving manual payrolls and take all the account, employ them, the casuals. If they are not employing, then they should be given at least something like they should be discharged and paid some dues. So at least, because somebody who has worked for 10 years and not even expecting any pension, it's a very unfortunate situation, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I think what will happen now is that we have to enforce the Constitution, that the counties must abide by the laws. They have been informed many times. They pick and pack every time it comes. The auditor, the control budget always comments on the same issues, but there's no improvement going ongoing. So we need to now to move forward so that at least this manual payrolls can be done away with. So thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Christolasiga.
Thank you, Speaker. I rise to comment on the shortage of special needs teachers by TSC in the country. Speaker, broadly speaking, the state of inclusive education for learners with disabilities in our country is in absolute abysmal levels. With the work that I do and the extensive research that my office conducts, Speaker, it is really unfortunate that in this day and age, learners with disabilities are not accorded the same or equal chance at education, and not just that, but quality education and diverse education for that matter, Speaker. it is quite unfortunate that the Ministry of Education have not sat down to look at the curriculum for learners with disabilities and understand that we too, as people with disabilities, require to be included in matters of the future of work. Speaker, I like this question that is in the statement asking the Ministry of Education to answer to STEM subjects. Are learners with disabilities accorded the opportunity to learn science, technology, engineering, mathematics, so many other subjects that all of our non-disabled learners are given a chance to study and work in, Speaker? You will be aware, Speaker, that I am the founder of the Crystal Asige Foundation, and currently we're in partnership with the European Business Institute of Luxembourg, and we have been offering full and part scholarships to learners with disabilities across the country in STEM subjects in particular, because we see the gap that nobody else is filling, unfortunately, in the country. Speaker, we have been able to support over 850 learners with disabilities with full scholarships last year, and currently we are also extending 250 more full scholarships for learners with disabilities in subjects like robotics, in AI, in cybersecurity, in AI for management and leaders, in business management, in special needs education, in so many other subjects, Speaker, that require us as learners with disabilities across the country to also be supported with and given an opportunity to dive into, because the future of work will demand us as well to upskill and be able to gain more knowledge in these STEM subjects, Mr. Speaker. So I would like to challenge, in addition to the statements, the Ministry of Education and other ministries as well to give an opportunity for learners with disabilities to learn STEM subjects and others, because we're brilliant. We're absolutely brilliant if only we're given the chance to access these kinds of education, Mr. Speaker. Don't just give us basic, don't just give us Kiswahili, English, and basic mathematics, Mr. Speaker, because we are far more brilliant than this country gives us credit for. And so, Mr. Speaker, I want to really support and urge any learner with disability out in the country.
Senator Cheburate.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity you have given me to make a comment on the statement that has been read by Honorable Catherine Muma on matters special education for those people living with disability. Mr. Speaker, Senator Catherine Muma have addressed the issue of shortage of teachers that are required in the school for the people living with disability. And I want to add something, Mr. Speaker, because in our country, we have very minimal schools for those people living with disability. You find other counties, Mr. Speaker, you may find a county that has no single school for the people who are living with disability. In the county where I represent, Mr. Speaker, in Baringo, we have only 3 schools for the people living with disability. And therefore, I want to urge the Ministry of Education to consider increasing the budget in the Department of BWD so that we may be able to get so many schools. And you know, again, the school for those people living with disability, they are disadvantaged. And therefore, they need facilities to be closer to them, because they are not just like other people. They may need to be treated closer, so the government and the Ministry of Education should increase the schools within our country. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, they should also be supplied with the required equipment, such as vehicles and also the good learning facilities. So it should not be treated like normal schools. Again, they should consider it in the co-curriculum activities, such as sports and whatever, so that they'll be able to feel like they are not neglected, just like other schools. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Kinyo.
Asante, Bwana Spika. Nataka kuchangia taarifa ambayo imeletwa na Senator Muma kuhusu upungufu wa walimu ambao wanapaswa kufunza watoto walio na mahitaji maalum. Bwana Spika, ni kweli, kwa sababu wanafunzi walio na mahitaji maalum wana haki kikatiba kuwa wakishughulikiwa. Lakini kulingana kwa wizara na vile vile katika gatuzi zetu, jambo hili wamelichukulia tu hivi Bwana Spika, halitiliwi mkazo. Kwa hivyo ni vizuri kamati ambayo itakuwa ikishughulikia haya mambo isishughulikie tu upungufu wa walimu, Bwana Spika, vile vile waangazie machifu wana majukumu kwa watoto ambao wana mahitaji maalum waweze kujulikana wako wapi, kwa sababu ukitembea sehemu zingine, Bwana Spika, unapata wamefichwa. Watu wanaonekana ni kama watu ambao hawafai katika jamii. Kwa hivyo Bwana Spika, sio tu katika elimu, lakini wanapaswa iangaziwe katika jamii zetu na waweze kujiweza kujulikana ya kwamba hata wao wana sehemu katika jamii yetu, Bwana Spika. Kwa hivyo kamati inayohusika wanapaswa waangalie haya mambo kwa undani sana. Taarifa nyingine ambayo ningependa kuchangia ni taarifa ambayo imeletwa na Senator wa Nandi, Senator Chargei, kuhusu bei vile ambavyo zimepanda maradufu. Lakini Bwana Spika, inapaswa ijulikane kwanza, Jamhuri ya Kenya serikali ina jukumu ya kulinda wananchi wa Kenya. Ukiangalia bei za mafuta, Bwana Spika, uangalie bei ya mafuta Uganda, uangalie bei ya mafuta Rwanda, bei iko chini kulingana na ukilinganisha na Kenya, kwa sababu ushuru wa bei ya mafuta iko juu zaidi. Lakini hata hivyo, Bwana Spika, kumekuwa na hawa wanabiashara walagai ambao wanawalagai wa Kenya kwa kuongeza bei maradufu, Bwana Spika. Kwa hivyo kuna haya mashirika, Bwana Spika, kama hili shirika la udhabiti na vile vile mamlaka ya ushindani, Bwana Spika, hawa wanapaswa waajibike, waweze kufuatilia ilhali hawa wanabiashara walagai ambao wanafanya bei kwenda juu zaidi waweze kuchukuliwa hatua. Kamati ambayo inapaswa kushughulikia jambo hili wanapaswa angalia mambo, na wale ambao wanahusika haya mashirika, Bwana Spika, na mamlaka waweze kuitwa hapa katika Seneti na waweze kuulizwa maswali, wanafanya nini ili waweze kusaidia Wakenya. Si kuwa tu tuko na hizi shirika, tuko na haya mamlaka, lakini hayafanyi kazi yoyote kuwasaidia Wakenya. Lakini
we have long spent the 15 minutes that had been allocated to the comments. We'll therefore proceed to the next order. However, before I ask the clerk to call the next order, allow me to pass this communication. Honorable Senators, as you may recall, on Tuesday, 28th of April 2026, I suspended the Senator for Migori County, Senator Eddie Okech, for gross disorderly conduct pursuant to Standing Order 122-2A. The Senator's suspension was to conclude today, 30th of May 2026. However, pursuant to Standing Order 127, the Honorable Senator appealed against the suspension, and pursuant to Standing Order 127B, I acceded to his appeal and reduced his suspension by 1 day. And therefore, the Honorable Senator has been readmitted to the chamber today. Next order.
Order number 8, the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bills number 2 of 2026, second reading, resumption of debate.
Now, Honorable Senators, allow me to rearrange the order paper. There is an order that will take us very few minutes to dispense with, and that is order number 13. Kindly call that order. Once we are done with that order, we'll, of course, resume the normal flow.
Order number 13, motion, consideration of the report of the Mediation Committee on the National Disaster Risk Management Bill, National Assembly Bills number 24 of 2023.
Vice Chairperson, Mediation Committee on the bill.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. It's not a vice chair, it's a co-chair. Unfortunately, we cannot be subordinate to the National Assembly. Yes, correct. Yes. Yeah. Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. Let me move this motion. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that this House adopts the report of the Mediation Committee on the National Disaster Management Bill, National Assembly Bill number 24 of 2023. Honorable Speaker, the objective of the bill is to establish a National Disaster Management Authority and the County Disaster Risk Management Committee, and to provide a legal framework for the coordination of disaster risk management activities. Honorable Speaker, as you are aware, the National Disaster Risk Management Bill, National Assembly Bill number 24 of 2023, was published via Kenya Gazette Supplement number 80 of 2023 of 31st May 2023 and was introduced in the National Assembly by way of first reading on 9th August 2023. The bill was considered by the National Assembly and passed with amendments on 20th June 2024. Thereafter, the bill was referred to the Senate for consideration in accordance with Article 110.
Senator Mohamed Chute.
Yes.
Can you read that bit there of it, that motion? The way it should, then you start.
Okay, thank you very much. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move 1 minute. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, that the Senate adopts the report of the Mediation Committee on National Disaster Risk Management Bill, National Assembly Bill number 24 of 2023, laid on the table of the Senate on Tuesday, 28 April 2026, and that pursuant to Article 1132 of the Constitution and Standing Order 1673 of the Senate, approves the mediation version of the bill. So, Honorable Speaker, thank you. Honorable Speaker, as I said earlier, this bill went through the National Assembly, it came to the Senate. In the Senate, we had amendments, and the Senate considered and passed the bill with amendments on 15th April 2025. And the Speaker of the Senate conveyed the decision of the Senate on the passage of the bill to the National Assembly on 15th April 2025, pursuant to the provisions of Article 110(4) of the Constitution and Standing Order 46(2) of the Senate Standing Orders. The National Assembly considered and rejected the amendments from the Senate on 24th July 2025. Subsequently, the bill was referred to a mediation committee pursuant to Article 112 of the Constitution. Honorable Speaker, the Speaker of the National Assembly appointed members of Mediation Committee on 19th August 2025, pursuant to Standing Order 149(2) of the National Assembly Standing Orders. The Speaker of the Senate also appointed senators to mediate on 3rd November 2025, pursuant to Standing Order 1162 of the Senate Standing Orders. Then there was a committee sitting. We had a sitting. The Mediation Committee had a total of 6 sittings. The first sitting was held on Tuesday, 31st March 2026. The Mediation Committee held its last sitting on Saturday, 25th April 2026. The Mediation Committee considered and agreed on a version of the National Disaster Risk Management Bill, National Assembly Bill number 24 of 2023, in accordance with Article 1132 of our Constitution. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, having considered the National Disaster Risk Management Bill, National Assembly Bill number 24 of 2023, the Mediation Committee recommends that this House adopts the report and approves the agreed version between the two houses on the National Disaster Risk Management Bill, National Bill number 24 of 2023. Honorable Speaker, allow me to call Senator Sige to second this motion. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Speaker. I rise to support our co-chair, and because he has already given a snapshot of what we have been working on in this mediated.
Sorry, Senator Sige, but you know Senator Mamen Chute, Chair.
I said he was the co-chair.
To move, you know, at the end of the way you move the bill, you say, I beg to move. Yes. Then you'll call out Senator Sige to second.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move the report and request Senator Sige to second the incoming women rep of where? Nairobi County.
Thank you.
Senator Sige.
Thank you very much, Speaker. I won't comment on what has just been said. However, I do rise, Speaker, to support this motion that the Senate do adopt this mediated committee version of the National Disaster Risk Management Bill, that members of the Senate and members of the National Assembly sat together for several meetings and agreed on several provisions and amendments therein. Speaker, it has been aptly summarized by our co-chair, Senator Chute, and therefore I just rise to support and second. Thank you.
Honorable Senators, I propose the question that the Senate adopts the report of the Mediation Committee on the National Disaster Risk Management Bill, National Assembly Bills number 24 of 2023, laid on the table of the Senate on Tuesday, 28 April 2026, and that pursuant to Article 113(2) of the Constitution and standing under 167(3) of the Senate, the Senate approves the mediated version of the bill. Senator Omatinga, Commissioner, Parliamentary Service Commission.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity, but I was being given a brief by my colleague, Senator Kenywa. Let him give this opportunity to someone else to speak.
Have you benefited from his wisdom when he showed
No, he had not,
as
he had
a
not
commissioner?
finished, Mr. Speaker. He is still going on, so I think I'll benefit from it. Thank you.
Okay, proceed. Oh, okay, okay. Senator Chalagay.
Mr. Speaker, I want to, from the onset, to congratulate Senator Chute or Chute, whichever the case, Mr. Speaker, because you remember Mundigi has a funny way of saying his name. Mr. Speaker, I know for Kenyans who are following is that when as houses, because these are bicameral parliament, when as houses, Mr. Speaker, we differ. And we are lucky because you are a member of National Assembly, and now you are a member of the Senate, the upper house. And the definition of Article 93 on what parliament is part of the National Assembly and the Senate.
Mr. Speaker, when we differ, when the bill comes from the National Assembly of the Senate and we don't agree with the proposals, Mr. Speaker, the bill as provided for under the Article 113 of the Constitution 2010 of the Republic of Kenya, the bill, Mr. Speaker, is taken for mediation. And therefore, the mandate and authority of the mediation committee on this issue of disaster management risk bill that was originated from the National Assembly, you ably, under your office, appointed, and I'm happy, Senator Crystal Asige, the incoming woman rep of Nairobi City County, and of course, and I agree with Senator Chute, Mr. Speaker, because you cannot say vice chair, and I'm disappointed, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Chalagay, there is no position called woman rep. There is no position like that in the Constitution.
I don't, women rep, sorry for that.
No. Should be a member of Nairobi County.
Okay.
Yeah, representing Nairobi County.
Well
Member of
guided,
Parliament
Mr. Speaker.
representing Nairobi County.
Well guided. So we wish her well in her endeavors. And I want to appeal her to still come back to broad-based. So, Speaker, what I wanted is a vice chair, and I agree, Mr. Speaker, I'm disappointed with this report because our chair of national cohesion, who is Senator Chute, Mr. Speaker, is being referred as a vice chair. I thought he's the co-chair because we are equal partners. And I want to appeal to our secretariat, Mr. Speaker, and I wish Clerk Chania would allow you to listen to this because this very pregnant point is that we are not subordinate of National Assembly. We are not, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, in this report, they should have referred co-chair is Senator Mohammed Said Chute, who is the distinguished senator of Marsabit, and I had appealed that he should join Wazee to go and bring peace in Sekuru as we try to stabilize Sekuru, because he's the chair of national cohesion and other things, Mr. Speaker. So this report, I am happy that the committee did agree, Mr. Speaker, through the facilitation of your office, and in the spirit of Article 113 of Constitution 2010, of course, this matter now is rested. We shall vote on it. And of course, within the next 7 days, His Excellency President Dr. William Ruto, Mr. Speaker, will have opportunity. And I've gone through most of these issues that was raised in the report and through mediation were more of a cleanup. For example, the issue of drilling exercises, where Kenyans are put on high alert. Mr. Speaker, we are lucky. I don't know whether God lives in Kenya, because it looks like God lives in Kenya, because we rarely experience major disasters in the country. And like other countries, I've been to America, Mr. Speaker. One I saw, was it Missouri, Mr. Speaker, where yesterday night or today, there was hailstone, and all the cars, the windscreens were destroyed. You go to countries in Asia where they are having earthquakes, Mr. Speaker. It is very like the tsunami, Mr. Speaker, and many others, Mr. Speaker. When I was in Brazil, Mr. Speaker, I think 2018, 2019, to study this disaster preparedness. And I'm telling you, Mr. Speaker, if a disaster happens in Brazil, within 20 seconds, the National Command Center on handling disaster can be alerted, and therefore responsive is quite high. Mr. Speaker, we have been having minor disasters in the country, like road accidents, like one of the buildings have collapsed, but it's more of compliance, Mr. Speaker. And I think, Mr. Speaker, it's very important that this committee agreed on the issue of drilling, the issue of the role of cabinet minister, and therefore, Mr. Speaker, I hope when the House reconvenes and does a division, within 7 days, His Excellency the President will have to assent to the bill. Mr. Speaker, just in conclusion, Mr. Speaker, are you aware this is the mining area of governors, especially from northeastern governors? Because under Public Finance Management Act, 2% of each and every county is allocated disaster management, Mr. Speaker. Because disaster management is a concurrent function. It is done by the National Assembly and by the national government and county governments, Mr. Speaker. 2% under Public Finance Management Act. The information I have is Marsabit, for example, allocates more than 1.5 billion Kenyan shillings to disaster. But they cannot provide even basic water tracking to the citizens of Marsabit when there is severe drought in that region, Mr. Speaker. You saw in Mandera, the governor went ahead and used disaster to buy 55 million worth of seedlings. Yet he should be providing for water tracking. And when we asked him where are the trees, he told us go and follow the road and you will see where we have planted those seeds, Mr. Speaker. Of course, you cannot speak about Wajir, Mr. Speaker, where the chairperson of Council of Governors, Hamid Abdullahi. And interestingly, I want to inform Senator Chute that most of his governors, from Governor Abdullahi, Governor of Marsabit, Governor of Garissa, and Governor of Mandera, all of them are known as absentee governors. They operate more in South B or South C, Nairobi, than in their counties, Mr. Speaker. And that is where they eat. I can give you an example, Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, that we need to move as a country from response-based to prevention and mitigation of disasters. Sample of 2%, as per the equitable shareable revenue we dispensed in the last financial year, Mr. Speaker. Under the Public Finance Management Act, every county, including Meru, must allocate 2% of the budget to disaster. I can give you only 3 counties. Nairobi, they allocated 846 million in last financial year. But now, there is floods in the city. We are being told they wanted to buy boats. We never saw those boats when there were floods in the city, Mr. Speaker. I'm told there was it Roysambu or part of this city where the KDF, Mr. Speaker, were called to assist Kenyans, Mr. Speaker, because of lack of coordination. Yet in that financial year, 846 million. Nakuru, Mr. Speaker, allocated 342.8 million to disaster as per the 2%. Mr. Speaker, Narok allocated 298 million to disaster. And of course, I come to Marsabit, as per the COB, they allocated 174.9 million Kenyan shillings to disaster, Mr. Speaker. What am I trying to demonstrate? That disaster to governors and counties is a lucrative business. When we think of disaster to assist, and the intention and aim of the PMF Act, and in being enraged by this report that has been ably moved by Senator Chute and Mheshimiwa Crystal Asiga, Mr. Speaker, was to assist Kenyans in need. The way now we have floods in this city, Mr. Speaker. You know, when I heard the governor of Nairobi saying they want to buy boats, I used to think it's a joke. Until the other day, it rained heavily. Until the vehicles became useless, Mr. Speaker. So this money that is allocated to disaster, and I want to appeal to Senator Chute, and I wish my chair of County Public Accounts Committee, we must audit the funds meant for disaster management in this country, Mr. Speaker. We face disasters that can only be handled, Mr. Speaker. In this day and era, Mr. Speaker, and I have a problem with also how you remember in the last session, and I am happy you were in the National Assembly, we were pushing that the strategic grain reserve must buy more cereals to assist Kenyans, especially during hunger, Mr. Speaker. It is very unfortunate that Kenyans are dying because of hunger. Mr. Speaker, a true government is known on how they treat their vulnerable in terms of need. If it rains, they suffer it. If the sun comes, they suffer it, Mr. Speaker. And it's not only human beings, it's also animals. And in fact, in future, and I've read the bill, and this report, I hope Senator Chute, because he comes from that region, we should also enhance the livestock insurance, Mr. Speaker, so that even as we take care of the human beings, of the people, we must take care of the livestock. Because he will tell you, the livestock, Mr. Speaker, the livestock to people of Marsabit and that northern region, where there are millions and millions, their dependence economic activity is the livestock. So I hope when we do this on the issue of disaster management, Mr. Speaker, and prevention, not reactive, Mr. Speaker, we should be able to ensure that we push. And therefore, I want to appeal to the President, now that we have an appeal to the President to ascend, and appeal to him to ignore the naysayers, Mr. Speaker. You saw today news headlines saying the economy under Kibaki, under Uhuru grew, under William Ruto is not growing. I want to ask the President to assent to such bills and ignore the naysayers. You know, by the way, Mr. Speaker, media also uses a principle that they say, Mr. Speaker, there is a famous principle in media that says it is not news when a dog bites a man, but it is news when a man bites a dog, Mr. Speaker. So I want to appeal to the President to assist us by assenting to such legislative proposals that will improve the lives of Kenyans and include the naysayers, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, this country, there are people who are behaving that there are more Kenyans than others, that they must lead this country. What we call ethnicity inferiority complex in this country, Mr. Speaker. Even when Kibaki, I've seen people celebrating Kibaki. Mr. Speaker, you know you are in Njurinjeka and you must have seen the reign of Kibaki. And they celebrate Kibaki so much, forgetting in 2007, 2008, there was post-election violence. They disputed 2007 general election, Mr. Speaker. So the success story of this country will be written through such innovative, precise legislative agenda that we give in this country, Mr. Speaker. So I want to appeal to the President as per Article 113 of the Constitution within 7 days, and I know Your Excellency, sorry, Mr. Speaker, sir, you will be able to present, Mr. Speaker, and I would note, Mr. Speaker, with your indulgence, I want to thank the President because he took his time today to welcome Sebastian Sawe. And I thank you for approving the statement, Mr. Speaker. Sebastian Sawe, who won the London Marathon, who ran under 2 hours, was given a customized number plate, Mr. Speaker, was given millions of shillings. He was given a heroic response, Mr. Speaker, and I hope in future I want to pray and appeal to the people of Meru to start being athletes. This is a lucrative business, Mr. Speaker. But I have only one problem with KRA, Mr. Speaker. Can you believe Sebastian Sawe is winning 48.5 million in award. But KRA are taking 18 million Kenya shillings. KRA should zero rate, Mr. Speaker. Why take 18 million? The KRA, Mr. Speaker, so I want to appeal to KRA not to tax the winnings and winnings of athletes and sportsmen. And Mr. Speaker, with the indulgence that you have given me, because Sebastian Sawe is my villager. He comes from Donyongaria village. I come from Osoriot. And I wouldn't sit without acknowledging and thanking the president. But KRA, please, stop taxing Kenyans who are winning. There are many Kenyans who are doing tax evasion, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, with those many remarks, I beg to support this mediated version of disaster bill that came from the National Assembly, and I hope Article 113 it will be signed to law, and Kenyans, let us use what we call more of, Mr. Speaker, of preventive and mitigative measures rather than reactive measures in place. And congratulate Senator Chute for the job well done, and we wish him well. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Very well. Honorable Senators, according to my dashboard, there is no other senator wishing to contribute on this motion. Therefore, I will call the mover to reply. Senator Mohamed Chute.
Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. Let me also take this opportunity to thank the distinguished senator from Nandi, Senator Cherargei. Okay, allow me to reply to this motion, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker.
Pursuant to Standing Order 66.3, I beg to move that the putting of a question be deferred to a later date. Well done. That's okay with you.
Your Honor, accepting the putting of the question has been deferred. So, Honorable Senators, we are now going back to order number 8, business appearing as order number 8, Division of Revenue Bill. Any senator wishing to contribute? Order number 8. The order was called out previously by the previous chair. That is Division of Revenue Bill. Do you want to say something, Senator Muma?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity to contribute to the Division of Revenue Bill 2026. Honorable Speaker, I am glad that after the conversation and after the pull and push between the Senate and the Council of Governors, that we have opportunity to debate and contribute to this bill. Honorable Speaker, the Senate is in that space where we must play our role as the house that would fight and for the protection of devolution by ensuring that we negotiate, put our best foot forward to negotiate for adequate funds to be given to county governments in order for devolution to actually work as it was intended. Honorable Speaker, and after fighting for devolution, Honorable Speaker, I wish Cherargei will just let people contribute. I feel disrupted. I feel I don't have your ear as the conversation is going on.
This year is on your side, so don't mind. I've just getting some direction.
You are a miracle worker that you can listen to Cherargei at the same time hear what I'm saying. Honorable Speaker, when Senator Cherargei contributed, I listened. In fact, I was on the chair. I listened very, very carefully. I just want to urge that you would also have respect for the others as we contribute. Listen, I'm sure you'll have some good point to add. Honorable Speaker.
Is your point of order, Senator Cherargei?
Mr. Speaker, standing on the number one, and I request Senator Muma is saying I don't respect the House or her. Yet you cannot approach the Speaker without your permission. You are the one who beckoned me to approach the. Does it show that I am showing disrespect? I thought you had called me for 1 or 2 consultations. I didn't do it in bad faith. So can the Senator, and I respect her, I normally listen to her submission. So I don't know why she's taking an offense, and the Speaker beckoned. Unless as a Speaker she rarely calls people to approach her. I don't know.
Honorable Speaker, my point was this, and Honorable Cherargei, I would request you be humble enough to listen, that in every day, we have to actually call you to lower your voice in order for people to listen. That's what I was referring to. I have no problem with you approaching the chair, but listen when the others.
Muma, stop addressing Senator Cherargei.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I just wanted to make, he wanted me to verify, and that's what I was saying, and I was just requesting very humbly that even as we listen to you, please also listen to us. Honorable Speaker, I was making the point that we were angry as the Senate by the manner in which the Council of Governors conducted themselves, and we had said we will defer the conversation on the Division of Revenue bill, and I'm glad that we've come to discuss it because that is a constitutional responsibility that we must actually attend to, and we also have the constitutional responsibility to also oversight how these funds are deployed, and therefore both roles are roles of the Senate, and without shame, without fear, we will carry out both in a manner that the people of Kenya contemplated when they gave this role to the Senate. Honorable Speaker, even as I say so, I would want to support that those who have argued that the Senate must go back to negotiate for more funds. Our committee has recommended 454 billion, and the CRA has recommended more money than that. My view is, first, we need to know that 450 billion is the amount. And I speak as a member of ODM, as a member of who is aware of that this issue was discussed as part of the MOU between ODM and the government. There are those who pride themselves that we are doing a lot as broad-based. And I would want to say, in good faith, if at all the government respects Raila Odinga, we need to actually at least honor his memory by doing what is right. 450 was supposed to be given in the past financial year. So in this financial year, we should be going up. So I want to urge the government that we need to give more to counties, and to also urge the government to know, in my view, my humble advice to any national government that will be there, that the national government that embraces devolution best will actually develop this country faster. Because a lot of the service delivery that is required to trigger the economic growth are in functions that are carried out by county governments. So when we hold up the money, and yet the development budget for national government is not more than 30%, we actually end up with the grumbling that is happening. Honorable Speaker, 420 is not enough for this reason, that we still have functions listed in the 4th schedule that have never been implemented by some counties. Counties are always complaining that they do not have enough money. The wage bill is still high, as you are aware. Key services like agricultural extension services have been relegated, they're not there. We have not had enough money to deploy in the health sector, for instance, to do effective preventive health. We actually are misusing CHPs who are given 2,500 to carry the burden of doing preventive health for a government that should actually not think otherwise. 2,500 is an insult. So properly speaking, we should be trying to find monies that we can deploy if we are serious about UHC, that we can deploy both in preventive health and in our public facilities. Bulk of the services carried out by government, by county governments, in order for us to be able to achieve what we are talking about. Honorable Speaker, the model of UHC in health in Kenya cannot be achieved when we are giving a drop of the amounts of money that we are giving to counties. Honorable Speaker, we have functions like the museum, the libraries, which were the national government had held on, has transferred, but the monies were not transferred. Honorable Speaker, along the line in the 4th schedule, with the mandate on ECDE and VTCs, there is the other function of care institutions. Care institutions are particularly required by the most vulnerable in this country. The young girls who go to work for the middle class people and from the informal settlements are the ones who need care services for their children in order for them to go and do some days work and come back to feed that family. Honorable Speaker, I'm in the Committee on Education. That is a function that nobody is implementing. And they're not implementing because it looks like the easy one to fall off because the money is not enough. The museums would best keep our culture. I would want to find out, any of you in your counties, which county is implementing that function properly. In fact, my suggestion, Honorable Speaker, and I would want you to take these suggestions further with the House, is that the Senate, in the 14th year after devolution has kicked off, should actually prepare a better indicator on the functions that should be implemented by county governments, for us to be able to evaluate, to find out how many of the functions that were given to the counties are being implemented, how many are not being implemented. But we know part of the problems of governors is because they don't have enough money. So the natural thing is to drop off what looks like luxury, but those functions are not luxury. They are not luxury. We need to actually ensure that every function is implemented. It cannot be implemented when we only add 5 billion to what was given last year, knowing very well the economy is not seriously growing, inflation is a factor. What are we trying to achieve? But when we come to oversight as well, and I'm urging that our finance team and whoever will be in the mediation should fight for the maximum. And I would say we go for the CRA proposed share. When we come to the oversight, we must also audit the expenditure by county governments and governors against the Constitution. Honorable Speaker, it is despicable that a governor would proudly share on how many millions they have given 500 million to bursaries, which is not their function, but will not have built one ECDE, which is their function. We also need to get governors in a room to understand what their function is. They are not above the law. So we cannot go fighting as a Senate for them to get more money, and we hear governors assigning illegal MOUs to give conditional grants to the national government on bursaries. An issue that the whole world, all politicians want to give monies to. The members of the National Assembly, the president separately, all these cards giving scholarships. What is in this bursary? We need a proper evaluation of that. And we need to surcharge the governors who've taken money that is little, instead of deploying to functions that they are actually assigned under the 4th schedule, who go to assign it to other issues. I can see in the bill the national government is talking about cost cutting, as some of the things that were put into account. I agree, as a nation we need to understand what is a priority and what is not a priority. And one of the things we must look at both county and national government levels is the parallel governments, in the name of advisors, in the name of these people who are employed willy-nilly by governors, by the president, and whose impact on the budget we have never been told properly. In fact, the Senate might also want to find out how much budget line is being deployed by governors to the employment of the fleet of advisors who are more than their CECs and those who are employed to carry out functions. So in the 14th year, Honorable Speaker, I think beyond what we did this morning, that I want to give accolades to the Senate for, particularly the Senate Secretariat, I think we need to also come up with a publication of what is the state of the implementation of the functions assigned to counties. And we need to start auditing each county against that standard. We need to actually to be able to call out county governments that have spent monies on things that they should not have spent on. Properly speaking, they need to be personally surcharged with their finance officers, because that is what was contemplated by the Constitution. Nobody is above the law. And when you go above the law, you actually should be penalized. And the Constitution contemplated that you will be personally penalized for making decisions that were not within the law. So even as I support, I want to ask that we vigorously campaign and lobby for more money. We must tell the president that we still have a lot of money held at the national government. Monies for roads. We still have parastatals that are holding functions of the counties, money that should be counties, still with the counties, still being held by national government. So the national government cannot afford to throw a token 5 billion extra to the counties. But the committees must also be firm and tell the governors, we will do what we are supposed to do, including ensuring that you spend the monies that you are given to the functions that you are supposed to spend on. And you cut down on expenditure that is unnecessary so that we can get services. Honorable Speaker, I feel if we are not careful, the people of Kenya are getting tired. The combination of the role of parliament, executive, even the judiciary, we need to start doing our job guided by nothing but the Constitution. And I believe if we implement this Constitution as was contemplated, this country will go far. I believe the national government that will come up and embrace devolution, and all of them lie to us when they're campaigning, that they support devolution. But when they come, they are the first ones affirming parastatals carrying out roles that are not theirs. I want to ask the broad-based government, we now have the chair of budget is an ODM member. The CS Treasury is an ODM member. Raila Odinga stood for devolution. Raila Odinga had asked in his lifetime that 450 in the last financial year be sent to county governments. If you truly respect him, including the president, if you truly respect Raila Odinga, you need to know we need to give the 450 which are given in the last financial year, and we need to mark it up in this financial year, and I am asking that we mark it up to what the CRA has recommended in good faith. And let us find other ways of ensuring that we save cost on the largesse that is happening to ensure that we find that money. And I believe that money is there and can be found to go to the counties. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Omatinga Wahome.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mine will not take as long because I'll be sharing a meeting in a few minutes. But I want also to contribute in support that indeed we must, as senators, fight for increment of the allocation to the county governments. Mr. Speaker, the bottom line is we must ensure that we reinforce the gains that have been made while at the same time protecting them. By saying this, Mr. Speaker, it can never be lost to us that we are serving the 48 governments in Kenya, the 47 county plus the national government. We are serving the same people, and therefore it is in the best interest of us in a one government approach to ensure that we unbundle as many functions as possible, while also ensuring that those functions that have been unbundled, the budgets are following them. But having said that, Mr. Speaker, it must also not be lost to us that we have a constitutional rule of oversight, and that the governor, some governors, have made it very difficult ensuring them that the allocated resources cannot be audited, cannot be followed up. And we've even seen situations where they've refused to submit themselves to the specific committees for questioning. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, as we fight for enhancement of the money to the county government so that we can be able to increase the benefits of the people at the grassroots level, we must also come up with mechanisms that will ensure that the monies allocated to the county government is accounted for, is spent in a way that can be mix economic and social and political impact to the people at the grassroots level. Mr. Speaker, we know that some of the notorious counties are those which are marginalized and those which have been touted as poor counties. Some of them, Mr. Speaker, for the last 15, 13, 14 years have been allocated hundreds of billions, but Mr. Speaker, there is not much that you can show of it. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, as we fight for the increment of the allocation to the county governments, we must also reinforce and look at the mechanism that has been put in place to ensure that we do not only oversight, but we also come up with a definition of what is an impactful project, Mr. Speaker, but left at the liberty of
the governors, as is today, Mr. Speaker, we'll find some who are giving manure to the people. We'll find some who are giving cows that go and die after a couple of days, Mr. Speaker. We'll find some that are giving all manners of things and saying in the name of social development, Mr. Speaker. This, Mr. Speaker, can only be achieved if we come up with a matrix. And because that is not defined in the Constitution, maybe we need to sit down with the governors in the spirit of moral responsibility and agree within which parameters can we define how you spend your money? Within which parameters can we agree that the resources that goes to the county are expended in a way that will be impactful, Mr. Speaker? I would want also to say, Mr. Speaker, some counties have shown tremendous progress in the way that they're implementing and using their money. But also, Mr. Speaker, we must also be alive to the fact that any development this year becomes an expenditure in the following year because of the maintenance cost. And therefore, when we talk about only increment of 5 billion, that, Mr. Speaker, is not enough to ensure that what was developed the previous year will be also maintained. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, as I wind up to join the other meeting, I would want to urge the governors to ensure that whatever they get is spent in a way that is accountable, transparent, but then also, Mr. Speaker, the senators in their role of oversight, they must also come up with a formula of ensuring that they follow up so that we are not reduced to morticians who will be coming and saying money was lost after it has been lost. And we come up with mechanisms, Mr. Speaker, to ensure that projects that have been conceptualized make sense politically, economically, and socially to the people so that at the end of the day, Mr. Speaker, the scarce resources that are allocated to the county can also be impactful. As sit down, Mr. Speaker, indeed I must commend the President because since the entry of the Kenya Kwanza government, we have seen that disbursement of money to the county government has been quite punctual, as opposed to the previous regimes, Mr. Speaker, that were using the county allocation as a balancing figure variable when we have shortage of government, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, there is something, yes, to be happy about. What needs to be done more is to unbundling of the services, and most importantly, ensuring that the budget trends follow them, and that also must be followed by reinforced oversight commitment from the senators, as well as the governors submitting themselves whenever there are queries, so that we can clear that and cultivate goodwill from the people. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I support.
Okay. Next is Senator Chobulet.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity you have given me to also make a submission on matters county revenue allocation bill. Mr. Speaker, as we normally as senators champion for the governors to appear before the committees and give us how they have been managing our county resources, we also as senators, we champion for the increment of our county allocations. So, Mr. Speaker, as the House and also members who are mandated to do oversight to our governors, we also appeal to our governors to appear at any time they are being summoned by the committees of this House. Mr. Speaker, as we champion for the increment of resources within our counties, we also demand accountability among our governors. We want them to show us how they are managing, how they are using our public resources, because we don't know a situation, Mr. Speaker, whereby as senators we are championing the national government to increase the allocation of resources to our counties, and again, we don't see the benefits. We don't see the results. Because, Mr. Speaker, in several counties, Mr. Speaker, within our country, roads are in a very pathetic condition, and you find governors demanding for more resources. Agriculture sector, Mr. Speaker, is doing badly in our counties. Health sector, Mr. Speaker, is doing badly in our counties, and yet we come to this House and request the national government to continue allocating more resources to our counties, and we don't see the results. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, we demand our governors to appear before any committees when they are being interrogated, so that we be able to know the resources we are fighting to be allocated to our counties, whether they are doing the required job or they are being misused by our governors. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, in my county, Mr. Speaker, recently, we were led by the LT Chairman of Standing Committee on Senate by Mheshimiwa Senator Mandago. We were in Baringo, and the assessment we went through, Mr. Speaker, the health facilities in my county are doing very badly, and therefore I will urge and demand this House to discuss Baringo County as a national disaster, because health facilities, our people are suffering. We don't have drugs, we don't have doctors, we don't have nurses, even those people who are working as casual, they are never paid. So, Mr. Speaker, there is a report we will submit before this House on matters health sector in Baringo County, and I will request all the senators to focus on Baringo County on matters health. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Senator Chabulet. Honorable Senators, the move of this motion is not allowed to reply, so I defer the reply of the motion to the next sitting. Honorable Senators, I want to reorganize again this bill, the order paper, order appearing as number 9, 10, 11, 12 are defunct. And then when you look at our order paper again, business appearing under order 14, orders 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. These are divisions, and therefore are also defunct. And then we go to order number 19, all the way to 29. Also that business stands deferred. Therefore, Senators, Honorable Senators, there being no other business on the order paper, the Senate stands adjourned until Tuesday, 5th May 2026 at 2:30 p.m.
To a mediation committee to consider the bill in accordance with the provisions of Article 113 of the Constitution. Now, Honorable Senators, consequent to the said decision, the Speaker of the National Assembly appointed the following members of the National Assembly to the mediation committee to consider the bill in accordance with Article 113 of the Constitution. The Honorable Marianne Kitani, the Honorable Dr. Beatrice Adagala, the Honorable Joshua Mwalio, the Honorable Robert Kishimo, the Honorable John Bwire, the Honorable Ali Wario, the Honorable Anthony Olwoch, the Honorable Joyce Kamene, and the Honorable Dr. Oundo Ojiambo. Honorable Senators, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 166-2 of the Senate, and in consultation with the Senate Majority Leader and the Senate Minority Leader, I will, at the appropriate time, appoint senators to the Mediation Committee. Lastly,
I wish to report, Honorable Senators, that pursuant to Standing Order 46.3 and 4, I have received the following message from the Speaker of the National Assembly regarding the decision of the National Assembly on the Senate amendments to the National Construction Authority Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bills number 59 of 2022. The message dated Thursday, 23rd of April 2026 was received in the office of the Clerk of the Senate on Friday, 24th April 2026. Now, pursuant to Standing Order 46.5, I now report the message. Pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 41.1 and 148B of the National Assembly Standing Orders, I hereby convey the following message from the National Assembly. Whereas on Thursday, 26th of October 2023, the National Assembly passed the National Construction Authority Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 59 of 2022, with amendments, and thereafter referred the bill to the Senate for consideration in accordance with the provisions of Article 110.4 of the Constitution. And whereas on Thursday, 19th of November 2024, the Senate considered and passed the said bill with amendments and referred it back to the National Assembly for reconsideration in accordance with the provisions of Article 112.1a of the Constitution. Further, whereas on Wednesday, 18th of June 2025, the National Assembly considered and rejected the Senate amendment to the said bill, consequently committing the bill to a mediation committee pursuant to the provisions of Article 112.2b of the Constitution. Now, therefore, in accordance with the provisions of Article 112.1b of the Constitution and Standing Order 149.1a of the National Assembly Standing Orders, I hereby convey the said decision to of the National Assembly to the Senate and seek the appointment of 7 honorable senators to a mediation committee to consider the bill in accordance with the provisions of Article 113 of the Constitution. Honorable senators, consequent to the said decision, the Speaker of the National Assembly appointed the following members of the National Assembly to the Mediation Committee to consider the bill in accordance with Article 113 of the Constitution. The Honorable Rendikiri Murithania, the Honorable Jen Kagiri, the Honorable John Wanjiku, the Honorable Joseph Chirorot, the Honorable Zamzam Mohammed, the Honorable Timothy Wanyonyi, and Honorable C.S. Irene Mayaka. Now, Honorable Senators, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 166.2 of the Senate, and in consultation with the Senate Majority Leader and the Senate Minority Leader, I will, at the appropriate time, appoint senators to the Mediation Committee. I thank you, Honorable Senators. Next order. Yes, Senator for Homa Bay.
Mr. Speaker, I appreciate the very detailed communication that you have made that stems from Standing Order 46. I just wanted to request the Speaker and the Secretariat to ensure that those detailed communications from the Chair are also made available to senators on these devices. Because, Mr. Speaker, your detailed report to this House coming from the National Assembly indicates that there will be a time when there will be more mediation committees than standing committees in this House. From your communication, I think there will be about 4 or 5 mediation committees just in one day. So probably this could be made available to us so that we can refer to them. They are a very, very important basis for bicameral relations. And, Mr. Speaker, I believe that even those senators have had, it would be important for us to have that record for future reference. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
It's a valid concern. It's noted. Next order.
Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Chairperson, Standing Committee on Information, Communication and Technology. Senator Alan Chisang.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the Senate today, Wednesday, 29th April 2026. Report of the Standing Committee on Information, Communication and Technology on its consideration of the Electronic Equipment Disposal,
Recycling and Reusable Bill, Senate Bills number 5 of 2025.
Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
The Vice Chairperson, Mediation Committee.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Allow me to give notice of the following motion. That the Senate adopts the report of Mediation Committee on National Disaster Risk Management Bill, National Assembly Bill number 24 of 2023, laid on the table of the Senate on Tuesday, 28 April 2026, and that pursuant to Article 113 of the Constitution and Standing Order 1673 of the Senate, approves the mediated version of the bill. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Next order.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Now, before I call honorable senators to request for statements pursuant to Standing Order 53-1, allow me to make this communication. Senator Montet and Senator Issa Boy, take your seats, please. Now, honorable senators, I'd like to acknowledge the presence in the public gallery this afternoon a visiting delegation of 21st Congress members of the Kenyatta University Association, KUSA. The delegation comprises 69 students who are visiting the Senate for an academic exposition. Now, on behalf of the Senate and my own behalf, I extend a warm welcome to the delegation and wish them a fruitful visit. I will call upon the Senator for Kiambu County and 1 minute to extend a word of welcome.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to welcome students from Kenyatta University, that is KUSA, to the Senate. This is the Senate, the upper house that is tasked to oversee and protect the interests of the counties, that is pursuant to Article 96 of the Constitution. I take this opportunity to welcome you as the Senator of Kiambu, and on behalf of the Senate, that your time here, you will have to learn a lot from what we do, both at the chambers and probably also behind the scenes with our staff and everyone. And we are not always as quiet as we are today, but we are not yet there, so you can stick around. We have a few motions and bills that will make almost everyone stand. So don't go that fast. Thank you very much. Welcome.
Statement pursuant to Standing Order 53-1, the Senator from Busia County, the Honorable Okiya Omtata.
Mr. Speaker, sir, thank you. My request for a statement is on the regulation of technical and vocational education and training, that's TVET institutions in Kenya. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53, Clause 1, to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Education on a matter of national concern regarding the regulation and compliance of technical and vocational education and training, in brackets TVET, institutions in the country. Mr. Speaker, sir, there are growing concerns over the emergence of institutions offering accredited programs, misrepresenting certifications and international partnerships, and making questionable employment guarantees, thereby exposing students and parents to potential exploitation and undermining the integrity of the TVET subsector. In the statement, the committee should address the following: the number of institutions registered and accredited by the Technical and Vocational Education and Training Authority, including their current accreditation status and approved programs. 2, the measures in place to identify, regulate, and act against non-compliant institutions, including those operating without accreditation or offering unapproved programs, and data on enforcement actions undertaken in the last 3 years. 3, the regulatory framework governing program accreditation, certification, and the conduct of assessments, including safeguards against misrepresentation of qualifications. 4, the legal and institutional framework governing partnerships with international bodies and employment facilitation by TVET institutions, including licensing requirements and the oversight mechanisms. Signed, Andrew Omtata, MP, Senator from Busia, 25th March 2026. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Senator for Taita Taveta County, the Honorable Maruma. That statement is dropped. The Honorable Alan Chesang.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53.1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Information, Communication and Technology on a matter of national-wide concern regarding the concerns raised by Kenyan content creators on monetization practices and revenue sharing mechanism on X, particularly in relation to fairness, transparency, and equitable participation in the digital economy. Mr. Speaker, sir, the digital economy increasingly drives employment and income, especially among Kenyan youth engaged in content creation across global digital platforms. However, concerns have emerged from Kenyan creators about earnings on X and the transparency and structure of its monetization systems. This issue raises policy and regulatory questions within the Kenyan Information and Communication Act 1998 and National Digital Economy Strategies. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the nature, structure, and transparency of X monetization and revenue sharing mechanisms covering eligibility criteria, payout models, factors influencing earnings, and how revenue is calculated.
What is your point of order, Senator Kinyua?
Mr. Speaker, the Senator for Trans Nzoia is the chairman of ICT, I thought he doesn't need to do a statement. They can do that from their committee, Sio Moto. They don't need to move this out. They can just do it at the committee. I just wanted your clarification, Chair, whether the committee can always get statements here for them to do their work.
Senator Alan Chesang, proceed to conclude, please.
Take your seat, Senator.
I just want your guidance, Chair.
Just take your seat. That's my guidance.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In the statement, the committee should address the following: the nature, structure, and transparency on X monetization and revenue sharing mechanisms, covering eligibility criteria, payout models, factors influencing earnings, and how revenue is calculated and distributed to Kenyan creators, alongside any regional or platform-specific variations affecting earnings and comparisons with platforms such as YouTube and Facebook. Number 2, the extent of government engagement with X on monetization practices, including discussions involving the Ministry of Information, Communications and the Digital Economy and the Communication Authority of Kenya, their outcomes, the presence of any local compliance structures and available dispute resolution mechanisms. Number 3, whether the government has assessed the economic contribution of Kenyan digital content creators across platforms such as X, YouTube, and Facebook, and the extent to which participation translates into income for users. And finally, number 4, Mr. Speaker, the policy, regulatory, and collaborative measures under consideration nationally and through regional and international bodies such as the East African Community and African Union to promote fair, transparent, and sustainable monetization opportunities for Kenyan digital content creators. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator for Kitui County, Honorable Enoch.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I have 2 statements. And the first statement, Mr. Speaker, is a request for a statement on human-wildlife conflict in Kitui County. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Senate Standing Committee on Lands, Environment, and Natural Resources on a matter of county-wide concern regarding human-wildlife conflicts in Kitui County. Mr. Speaker, sir, elephants have increasingly caused havoc and extensive destruction of crops, property, and livelihoods in several areas in Kitui County. The most recent incident occurred on Saturday, 25th of April 2026 at Ngali village in Elamba sublocation, Simis location, where a lady, Ms. Kaviti Maedhia, was attacked by a stray elephant at around 7 p.m. at Ngali Shopping Center, where she operated a kiosk. She sustained multiple fractures and internal injuries and succumbed to the injuries while undergoing treatment at Kitui County Hospital the following morning. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the reasons for the lack of adequate mechanisms to prevent elephants from encroaching into residential areas and persistently invading homes, thereby posing security threats to residents of Kitui County. 2, the compensation process for the family of Ms. Kaviti Maedhia, and a report on all pending human-wildlife conflict compensation claims in Kitui County, the reasons for delay in payment, and the expected timelines for settling outstanding claims. And number 3, the strategies currently in place by the Kenya Wildlife Service and other relevant agencies to mitigate persistent human-wildlife conflict caused by elephants, and an explanation of why adequate action has not been taken to protect both elephants and local communities despite recurring invasions. Mr. Speaker, with your permission, I will read the second statement. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this is a request for a statement on the killings of 8 people by bandits in Sikuru Ward and a schoolboy in Gune Ward of Kitui County. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense, and Foreign Relations on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the horrific killing of 7 people in Kwakamari, Sikuru Ward, Kitui County, by bandits on Saturday, 25th April 2026, and the killing of a schoolboy in Okasi, Gune Ward, Kitui County, by bandits on Tuesday, 28th April 2026. The Speaker, 7 people were brutally murdered in Kwakamari's Sikuru Ward, Kitui County, by bandits on Saturday, April 25th, 2026. A couple of weeks earlier, a young man was murdered by bandits masquerading as Kamo others in the same ward. Only yesterday, Mr. Speaker, yet another schoolboy, James Mutemi, of Keo Village in Okasi of Mwingi Central Constituency, was slashed into pieces by bandits as he was herding the family livestock. This latest incident has triggered chaos on the Garissa Mwingi Road, with enraged residents blocking Garissa-Nairobi bound buses demanding justice. A wrong but very dangerous impression is being created, Mr. Speaker, that the Kamba and the Somali communities are at war. The ball is in the court of the national security apparatus to nip this perception in the bud before the situation gets out of control. The people of Kitui County continue to suffer repeated attacks, yet responses remain casual and reactionary. Casual statements being made suggesting that people should vacate game reserves in the county or that wild animals will be introduced in the reserves trivialize a very serious security problem. In the statement, Mr. Speaker, the committee should address the following. 1, the measures undertaken by the Ministry of Interior and National Police Service to apprehend the perpetrators of the Sikuru killings and stop further attacks in Kitui County. Number 2, the plans in place to ensure adequate security personnel and resources are deployed to protect residents of Sikuru, Gomeni, and Malalani, Moda, and Kanziku wards, among other affected border areas in Kitui County. Number 3, the immediate and long-term strategies being implemented to curb banditry and cross-border incursions by Kamo herders, including coordinated regional security operations. Number 4, clarification on the operational jurisdiction of county security officers when criminals flee into neighboring counties, and how inter-county and regional coordination is being strengthened to ensure effective pursuit and apprehension of culprits. Number 5, the comprehensive plan for a lasting solution to banditry in Kitui County, beyond casual pronouncements, including escalation to regional security bosses, to formulate a coordinated action plan to apprehend the culprits and dismantle their networks. And lastly, compensation and support mechanisms for the victims' families, including livelihood restoration and psychosocial support for affected communities. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Now, honorable senators, I will allow comments for not more than 15 minutes on the statements that have been sought. If you get an opportunity to comment, kindly keep it under 3 minutes. The Honorable Tabitha Mutenda.
Thank you so much. Mr. Speaker, I rise to make comments on the statement by Senator Enoch Wambua in regards to the massacre happening in my mother's county, the great county of Kitui, Mr. Speaker. It is sad, Mr. Speaker, that as a country we can be on this floor of this house discussing such matters where our people are being killed. We are all Kenyans, Mr. Speaker. And this matter is a matter that has been going on for years and years. The people of Kitui County have spoken, Mr. Speaker, and they have said that national security should go down and ensure that they address the matters, because the matters are in the public domain. The issues that are happening are in the public domain. It is so sad that we can have a community killing another community. Mr. Speaker, the Kamba community, Mr. Speaker, is the most humble community, among the most humble communities in this country. Is the most courteous communities in this country, the most hardworking communities in this country, and a community that accommodates all across. Even from political affiliations, Mr. Speaker, we've cut across the board, both in government, in opposition, and we work very well, Mr. Speaker. It is sad that today, as one of the most trusted communities, Mr. Speaker, our people of Kitui County will be undergoing what they are undergoing. I had a man ask a question to the senator of Kitui. When the senator asked, why are you killing our people? And the gentleman said, just 2 people? Mr. Speaker, every life is important. Every life matters, Mr. Speaker. And it is the high time, Mr. Speaker, as I conclude, so that I give my other colleagues to be able to put in a word, we need the Minister for Security, none other than Senator Murkomen, to be able to fasten and go down to this region and be able to remove, and the key word is to remove what is causing this problem to the people and the great people of Kitui County. Mr. Speaker, I submit.
Senator Mothama.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for this opportunity. I want to comment on the 3 statements, 2 from Senator Wambua and Senator Omtata. Mr. Speaker, this issue of Kitui and the bandits has been on for so long. Since I joined the Senate last term, Senator Wambua every time has a statement for the issue of bandits and his people being killed or animals being stolen. Mr. Speaker, it's a high time for the CS for Interior to put, and the government of Kenya to put a permanent solution to the issues of the bandits in Kitui and that border. It is doable. We have all the security. We have all what it takes for the Kitui people to live in peace. And the government has a right to protect every citizen of this country. So, Mr. Speaker, I would request the committee of the committee concerned, Interior, to really take action and go to Kitui and do what is necessary for Kitui people to live at peace. Those people don't even have time to rest peacefully because they are fearing bandits might be coming the next minute. So, Mr. Speaker, I comment on the second one on wildlife. Wildlife conflicts and human conflict is too much. And these people are taking too long to compensate the people after they've been killed. Mr. Speaker, I keep on receiving phone calls from my people from Masinga, Machakos County. People are being terrorized by crocodiles and hippos and wildlife. And many of them have been killed. And from 2014 to date, only 16 people have been compensated. We are talking of people who are killed from 2016, 2014, 2015, and have never been compensated. And so we are asking for the ministry concerned and KWS to take action and compensate people and also protect the people. I thank God for the tourism, the ministry, which has also put a fence at Donyo Sabuk, Kilimambogo, Donyo Sabuk Game Reserve. But there are living gaps where also some animals are going through still to terrorize the people. I'm asking for the ministry concerned to put that fence completely so that hyenas will not come down from the game reserve to terrorize my people. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Methu.
Mr. Speaker, sir, thank you for giving me an opportunity to comment on the statements that have been sought. Mr. Speaker, sir, whatever is happening down there in the county of Kitui to our cousins from the lower eastern region, Madam Speaker, is an extremely sad situation, Madam Speaker. And I think, and I like what has been put in this statement by the Senator for Kitui. I sympathize with you, Senator for Kitui, because the way some people want to trivialize such a serious security situation, Mr. Speaker, is an extremely sad thing. Of the many things that Senator Charargei has ever said on the floor of this House, I think I now finally and formally agree with him when he says that the Cabinet Secretary for Interior is followed and is a testimony that incompetence cannot be substituted. And one thing that he has ever said, that incompetence was seen when he was in the Ministry of Roads, incompetency followed him when he went to the Ministry of Sports, and incompetency has followed him now, Mr. Speaker, in the Ministry of Interior, Madam Speaker. Unfortunately, we can stand if our sports sometimes does not work. We can stand if there's a pothole or a problem in roads, Madam Speaker. But what can we say about 7 people being killed in one day, one night, Mr. Speaker? Maybe I've said something that these people don't like, but I've not spoken for 3 minutes. Certainly. I don't know why the clerk is... Mr. Speaker, it cannot be that we have not had any comment, and I want the Senator for Kitui to challenge me. We have not even had a comment Just one comment for the Minister for Interior. In a democracy that would be working, the Cabinet Secretary should have at least, even given the people of Kitui, the comfort of telling them, this is exactly what we are doing, Mr. Speaker. I don't know why I keep calling you Madam Speaker. I think it's because I speak after you have left most of the times. Mr. Speaker, sir, if you look at what has been given to, as an answer to the Senator for Kitui, that people should leave game reserves. You know, this is such a sad answer, Mr. Speaker. Because, Mr. Speaker, these are people who have lived in Sekuru. I was there down, that route over the weekend, Mr. Speaker. This is a place these people have called home all their lives, Mr. Speaker. And they are now being told that you have to vacate just because some people, and incompetence is being seen. Mr. Speaker, this country is descending to something that we cannot stand. This country is descending into levels that we have never seen. On one side, the citizens are crying about this country becoming a good nation. On the other side, even citizens who are peaceful, somebody has said that Kabas are very peaceful. The most peaceful citizens, Mr. Speaker, cannot enjoy quality of life. I don't know how I will stop calling you Madam Speaker. Are not enjoying quality of life, Mr. Speaker. 7 people are being killed one night. I've seen on the 25th of April, 7 people are killed. Nothing has been said by the Minister for Interior. Nothing has been said by the PS for Interior. Nothing has been said by the National Police Service. But they are always very available, Mr. Speaker, to come and throw tear gas in our meetings, Mr. Speaker. Where are these policemen to protect life and property of the people of Kenya, Mr. Speaker? It cannot be that they are always very present when they are being sent to go and deal with political problems. But they cannot protect life and they cannot protect property of the people of Kenya. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Ogola.
Honorable Speaker, I thank you for giving me the opportunity. I want to really feel with the people of Kitui and to condole with our brother, Senator Enoch Wambua. Honorable Speaker, we need not to lose any life. And it is not imaginable to say that 8 people have been killed by bandits. Who are these bandits, Honorable Speaker? In this republic, Honorable Speaker, we have an investigative arm that is able to even detect issues before they come, Honorable Speaker. It is pathetic that the people of Kitui are mourning today over some loss. Honorable Speaker, there must be reasons behind these killings. And we want to say, Honorable Speaker, that as we deal with the death, the loss of these noble people of Kitui, what is behind this massive killing must be brought to book, Honorable Speaker. And it is for that reason, Honorable Speaker, that I keep on mourning the loss of one Raila Molo Odinga. That at the last, one of the last functions that Raila Molo Odinga attended, he made it very clear that as a nation, let us think as Kenyans. Let us stop this primitive thinking of community to community. I say this, Honorable Speaker, because Senator Wambua said that this killing is done by one community against the other. Honorable Speaker, we are one human nation. If you cut yourself, we have the same blood groups. And so we should never lose life for whatever reason. And the committee that will be handling this must focus on the causes of this death. Honorable Speaker, I also want to comment on the human-wildlife conflict and to say that as we talk about compensation, the compensation must also be timely. In my constituency along the River Kuja, there's often loss of lives in a village called Bunguma Nyoro. A number of students, a number of mothers, a number of people have lost their lives. And we are calling on the county government of Homa Bay also provide water to the people of Bunguma Nyoro so that women don't have to go to the rivers to look for water where there are crocodiles and they keep on losing their lives. Honorable Speaker, I support this statement.
Senator Essie Kanyure.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I want to support the statement by Senator Umtata on TVETA and regulation. Mr. Speaker, while I support accreditation and all that pertains having institutions which are qualified to conduct whatever training they are doing, I feel that on the issue of the Kenya Institute of Management, there is a problem, Mr. Speaker, because it's been for almost 10 years. Where was TVETA when the Kenya Institute of Management was conducting the training, awarding certificate to students, Mr. Speaker? Where does the fate of the many staff members, graduates, learners at the moment lie, Mr. Speaker? And I think let the issue of Kenya Institute of Management not be the eye-opener, but we have so many other issues similar to this, whereby we just have the TVET authority just come up and cancel accreditation, and the matter just lies down like it is a small matter. So I feel the committee that is going to look into this matter needs to go down deeper so that we are not losing many students who acquired certificates, paid school fees, and now their fate is just out there, Mr. Speaker. So Senator Umtata's statement is a very serious statement, which I think we need to look at, especially when we are talking about education matters and acquisition of skills, Mr. Speaker, in this country. I thank you.
Senator Osotsi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to comment on the statement by Senator Alan Chesang on the monetization of content creators on X. Mr. Speaker, I've read the statement, and I think this is the kind of statement that we just add pain
to the content creators. Content creators are already paying taxes. We have the digital service tax, which is 1.5% of the money that they get from content creation. There is also the VAT for digital services of 16%. So the information the senator is seeking will basically be information that can easily lead to more taxation to content creators. And you know, these content creators are young people who earn from online media because they can't get jobs.
So I want to ask Senator Chesang to be very careful with the kind of information he's asking to get, because it is going to tighten government control over use of digital media, and therefore more pain to the youth who are jobless. And in any case, Mr. Speaker, this information is available. I think you can get this information from X or from YouTube or all the other social media platforms. But the direction and the tone of this statement is basically to ignite the interest by the National Treasury to tax content creators even more. I think that direction will not be a direction to support the youth of this country. I want to ask the Committee of ICT, when looking at this statement, to be careful so that they do not create that interest in trying to tighten control over usage of digital space for self-employment by our youth. I know there are a number of initiatives that CAK has put in place on this matter. Let it rest there. But pushing it harder, I don't see that is the direction that are going to support the youth of this country. We want content creators to earn more. The pricing structure is standard globally. It is not specific to any single country. But I just want to discourage the issue of trying now to look at the youth who use social media as a source of tax revenue. That is going to demoralize the youth who are not in employment and have gone to social media to try and make earnings. So, Mr. Speaker, I just wanted that to be heard. As an expert in this industry, I don't think this is the direction that we should take as a country. We must instead enhance social media creators' economy so that we have so many of our young people making money online and not trying to discourage them through taxation or initiatives that are going to make the government to have tighter control over social media platform. Mr. Speaker, that was just my comment on that statement. Thank you.
Senator Kenywa.
Asante Bwana Spika. Nataka kuchangia taarifa iliyoletwa na Seneta wa Kitui kuhusu uvamizi na kushambuliwa na kuuawa kwa wananchi wa Kitui. Bwana Spika, wakati tunapounda serikali yoyote, jukumu lake kubwa ni kulinda mali na maisha ya wananchi. Bwana Spika, ni jambo la kuvunja moyo sana Bwana Spika kusikia ya kwamba katika sehemu ya kwa Kamari kuliuawa watu 7, na kabla yake wiki kadhaa zilizopita kulikuwa kumeuawa kijana aliyekuwa malishoni, na ni jana tu Bwana Spika kijana ambaye anaitwa Mutemi alishambuliwa na kuuawa, na si kuuawa peke yake Bwana Spika, kukatakatwa. Waziri wa usalama alituambia kwamba yeye mwenyewe huwa anajua mahali watu wamelala, vile wanavyoota Bwana Spika, na hawezi kuzuia hawa wananchi wa Kitui kushambuliwa na kuuawa Bwana Spika. Vijisababu ambavyo vinapeanwa Bwana Spika ni kuambia watu wahame katika mbuga za wanyama Bwana Spika. Bwana Spika, tuna hofu Bwana Spika, tuna uchungu Bwana Spika, wale ambao tunawakilisha ikiwa watashambuliwa na kuuawa hivi Bwana Spika. Mimi nakisia ya kwamba Bwana Spika, huyu waziri tulionaye wa usalama Bwana Spika pengine ni kipofu, haoni Bwana Spika yanayoendelea katika nchi ya Kenya. Bwana Spika, pengine ni bubu, hasikii yale mambo ambayo yanatendeka katika Jamhuri ya Kenya Bwana Spika. Bwana Spika, nimesikia
Senator Kenywa. Bubu na kusikia inaingilia na wapi?
Bwana Spika, kama madaktari Bwana Spika, ukiongea na daktari atakwambia wengi wa mabubu vile vile ni viziwi Bwana Spika. Kwa hivyo nasema ni bubu kwa sababu hajaongea jambo lolote kuhusu jambo linalotendeka pale Kitui Bwana Spika. Nilimuona juzi baada ya maafa hayo kutokea Kitui, yeye moja kwa moja nilimuona Ravin katika Harambee akiimba tuta Bwana Spika. Hiyo siyo jambo ambalo amechaguliwa kufanya. Yeye amechaguliwa kutenda kazi kulinda maisha ya wananchi wa Kenya na vile vile mali ya wananchi wa Kenya. Bwana Spika, namuona Senator Ososi hapa alichapwa kichapo cha mbwa kuingia msikitini. Wale waliompiga hakuna hata mmoja ameshikwa Bwana Spika.
Senator Kajwang.
Mr. Speaker, allow me to comment on the very unfortunate statement by my Deputy Leader of Minority, Senator Wambua. Mr. Speaker, charity must begin at home. Yesterday, our very valiant policemen and women came back from Haiti, where they went and contained gang violence. But we cannot be fixing Haiti if we cannot fix problems back in Kenya. Mr. Speaker, 7 lives is too many. In fact, there is an emerging theory in this country that if you want action from the national government, kill a politician. If you want action, beat up a politician. If you want action, raid the property of a politician. That's when action will be taken. Mr. Speaker, 7 lives is too much. Not too far back in Todonyang, in the county of my friend here, Senator from Turkana, 42 people were killed. And every time they're killed, they're called tribal warfare, cultural practices. Mr. Speaker, this is crime. And Mr. Speaker, the right to life that is enshrined in this constitution, that right must be guaranteed by the state, failure to which Kenyans shall revert back to the right to self-defense. And Mr. Speaker, even though arrows are flying, spears are flying, and machetes are being used, Mr. Speaker, this country must know that a gun is not rocket science. Today you can print a gun using a 3D printer. What stops the antagonist or the protagonist from printing guns or from procuring guns? And when that happens, Mr. Speaker, it will be anarchy. This state will fall. And so I want to urge the national government to take this matter seriously and avoid the knee-jerk reactions that we always have that give the impression that the political class is far more important than the people who have put us in these positions. I want to send my condolences to the people who have been affected and urge for speedy reconciliation and urge the leadership to talk to the affected parties to ensure that we de-escalate. But the ultimate responsibility lies in the hands of the state. Mr. Speaker, allow me also to comment on Senator Omtata's statement. In 2022, I brought to this House and sponsored the County Vocational Training and Education Bill. Mr. Speaker, that bill was supposed to do exactly what Senator Omtata is asking, providing a legal framework for regulation of technical and vocational training in this country. Mr. Speaker, that bill from 2022 has not made any progress in the National Assembly. Please, Mr. Speaker, we also need to have some seriousness where we consider the bills we have sent to the other House and we take a position. This order paper is full of National Assembly bills. We are doing well. The other House is not considering our bills. Otherwise, the issues raised by Senator Omtata, the issues affecting Kenya Institute of Management and various institutions would not arise if that bill.
Senator Chiranke.
Mr. Speaker, I want from the onset to send my deepest condolences to the people of Kitui. They are my in-laws and my relatives. Mr. Speaker. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, Article 26, right to life, is very critical, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it is very unfortunate that as we speak today...
What is the point of order, Senator Matthew?
Can you freeze my time? I was just taking off.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I would not have wanted to disrupt the flow of vote of Senator Chargay, but there is a situation that you need to address immediately, Mr. Speaker, because as it is now, none of us, the colleagues who are not in the Senate now, cannot be able to leave the precincts of Parliament, and those who are in cannot go out, because there is a very major situation at the gate that requires your very urgent intervention. One of our colleagues, Senator Oroba, is at the gate, and she says, "Anatuheshimura atuogopi." So there is no way you can go out, and there's no way you can. There's no way you can go out. There's no way you can come in, and I think that's a situation that that will require your very urgent intervention.
Proceed, Senator Fernandez. We'll deal with that administratively, Senator Metho.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I hope my time was preserved. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, Article 26 is very clear on the right to life. And I want to assure Senator Wambua that our prayers and thoughts are with him, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it is very unfortunate that these killings are happening while our police were in a hit, Mr. Speaker. And I'm happy today, although I differ with Senator Metu on many things, finally, Mr. Speaker, I'm being vindicated. Yes. Because this points back to the incompetence, moribunds, ineffectiveness of the CS Interior, Mr. Speaker. And the more he stays in that ministry, the more Kenyans will die. And we'll never replace them, Mr. Speaker. Over the weekend, Mr. Speaker, I roast a young man called Sami Kowendi, who was murdered, Mr. Speaker. The Meru killings were happening, Mr. Speaker. In this town, when you remove your phone, it goes with the hand, Mr. Speaker. We must address that the buck stops with the Minister of Interior. He must, and I remember when the Ministry of Defense Security called him to appear. He failed to appear, Mr. Speaker, because we wanted to ask critical questions, Mr. Speaker. Finally, Mr. Speaker, I want to call upon the DCI I saw they arrested a lady called Bare Sare Ahmed who was using digital incitement, Mr. Speaker. But unfortunately, the DCI did not give us the mark shot of that young girl, Mr. Speaker. We don't want also to do double standards of DCI, Mr. Speaker. And I don't know why my teacher, Senator Professor Ojenda, who is allegedly sponsoring goons in Kisumu, is pointing at me. Mr. Speaker, the point I'm trying to make, Mr. Speaker, is the issue of incitement and reconciliation, Mr. Speaker. You must direct the committee of Senator Chute to be part of the national security and also cohesion so that we can see how we can help the people of Kitui. Mr. Speaker, and I hope this matter will be put to rest so that the people of Kitui can enjoy their right to freedom. And I want to appeal to the party leader and other leaders, Mr. Speaker.
What is your point of order, Senator Karungo?
Mr. Speaker, I seek your guidance. Is the senator for Nandi?
What is the standing order that you're invoking?
11105, both of them. Statement of facts, Mr. Speaker. Is the senator for Nandi referring to the senior counsel, Senator Ojenda, as a goon? Mr. Speaker, he needs to substantiate, because I remember the other day, the same senator was fighting for the Senate when somebody portrayed us as such. Is he referring to Senator Ojenda as a goon general?
Senator Karungo, what I heard from Senator Cherengei, he used the word allegedly. Allegedly. He did not, it's allegedly. So I don't think we need to proceed and conclude your thoughts.
Mr. Speaker, you know, Senator Karungo Adama was sitting to somebody who referred that.
Senator Cherengei, your time is up. But, okay, 1 minute, you conclude.
Mr. Speaker, I saw Senator Karungo Watangwa was sitting to somebody who referred as goons. So he should have even hit him with Angumi on honor of this house, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, the buck stops with the Minister of Interior, and I hope the Inspector General of Police will ensure the people of Kitui are held as such. And Senator Ojenda assisted us, but he did it later. But I'm surprised he's sitting next to Senator Otsosi. I don't know. Otsosi, you need to be careful. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I support.
Now, honorable senators, we have expanded the time allocated to this particular comment session. We'll move to the next order. Clerk, next order, please.
Order number 8, motion, report of the Standing Committee on Health on a petition to the Senate by the Kenya Union of Clinical Officers regarding alleged discrimination, interference, and violation of clinical officers' practice rights by the Ministry of Health, the Council of Governors, and the Social Health Authority. Resumption of debate for the mover to reply.
The mover of this motion, you may now proceed to reply.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to reply the motion on the report of Standing Committee on Health on the petition of the Senate by the Kenya Union of Clinical Officers regarding alleged discrimination, interference, and violation of the clinical officers' practice rights by the Ministry of Health, Council of Governors, and the Social Authority. Mr. Speaker, I thank the members who has contributed. Many of them have contributed. Mr. Speaker, this is healthcare is more of HR. And Mr. Speaker, we have engaged so many stakeholders on this. And we came with almost 4 recommendations. Mr. Speaker, I urge this recommendation must be taken putty so that at least these human resource issues be implemented. Mr. Speaker, clinical officers, there are 543 clinical officers in the county, in the country. Mr. Speaker, if you go to each counties, these clinical officers, they do almost all what doctors are doing. They are all multitasking, all other activities. Mr. Speaker, but when it comes to human resource, when it comes to deployment, internship, permanent and pensionable, and transfers and absorptions, Mr. Speaker, they are not aware, they are not anywhere. These 5,433, they are there, outside there. They have done with their educations, but they are supposed to be doing internship, but they have not been absorbed on the internship. Mr. Speaker, in this, the committee has recommended 4 recommendations. The one which is more importantly and which needs more implementation to be done effectively and quickly, Mr. Speaker, is the recommendation on the standard human resource for health development guideline covering internship, permanent and pensionable absorptions and transfers. And these recommendations address the structural gaps in the workforce plan and should be reduced. If this is implemented, to reduce the unvain practice across the country and across the counties. Mr. Speaker, with those remarks, I stand a reply. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Clerk, do we have the requisite quorum? Do we? Good. Now, honorable senators, I will proceed to put the question. Senator Kavendo, kindly take your seat. That the Senate adopt the report of the Standing Committee on Health on a petition to the Senate by the Kenya Union of Clinical Officers, KUCO, regarding alleged discrimination, interference, and violation of clinical officers' practice rights by the Minister of Health, the Council of Governors, and the Social Health Authority, which was laid on the table of the Senate on Wednesday, 1st of April 2026. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 9, the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bill number 2 of 2026, second reading, resumption of debate.
Now, at the rise of the House yesterday, Honorable Senator Methu had the floor, and you had a balance of 10 minutes. You may proceed with your contribution.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I am sure the students who are the speakers, or rather the public gallery, will be recognized at the appropriate time. As the House was rising yesterday, and,
Honorable Methu, before you proceed,
allow me to make this communication because the students may want to leave to go back home. Honorable Senators, I'd like to acknowledge the presence in the public gallery this afternoon of a visiting delegation of 10 teachers and 70 students from ACK Ziwa Senior School in Eldoret, Uasin Gishu County. The delegation is visiting the Senate for an academic exposition. Now, on behalf of the Senate and my own behalf, I extend a warm welcome to the delegation and wish them a fruitful visit. I will ask the Senator Fernandi under 1 minute to extend a word of welcome to the delegation.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. I want to extend a warm welcome to the wonderful students from Ziwa, Mr. Speaker. Personally, as the neighbor senator, because I come from Nandi, on behalf of Senator Jackson Mandago, known as Jagma, I want to extend a warm welcome, Mr. Speaker. And Ziwa is a very good place, Mr. Speaker. That is where we get a lot of maize. They are very critical for food security. They are very important. And Ziwa is a very good place, Mr. Speaker. I wish them well back as they go to school, learn what you can. And we are proud of you. We love you. We wish you the best. And we are praying for you. And thank you, Speaker, because they'll be able to follow the proceedings by comments by Senator Medu. But don't take his advice of not shaving. You should always be well shaven like our Speaker, so that you can always look the part, Mr. Speaker. So I welcome and asanteni sana. Kongoi, Mr. Speaker, ako karibuni.
Senator Medu.
Mr. Speaker, I don't know what language Senator Cherargei spoke in as he wound up his welcoming, but I think I would be right, Senator Cherargei, to say Kongoi mi sing. Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm also looking forward to a day where students who come from Yandaron, they will be welcomed by Senator Cherargei as we try and build cohesion. Because they see Senator Cherargei quite often. They see him, his palatial home in Mosorio, I have visited it, and it's not very far from Doret, Mr. Speaker. I was saying yesterday, Mr. Speaker, as the House was rising, that as a people and as a House, we cannot and we shall never, our finger shall never be pointed to this House as the people who ever made devolution not work. It is our work, regardless of the bad manners of the governors, because governors have tried to provoke us extensively, Mr. Speaker. But it shall not be us. This baby of devolution shall never die at the hands of the Senate. And this has been very consistent in terms of what we have been doing. Number one, Mr. Speaker, in terms of trying to push for as much money to go to our counties, Mr. Speaker, we are always in the front line. Number two, Mr. Speaker, as the governors now try to speak to us very nicely, I saw the leader of majority now saying that the stalemate has been now unlocked because we had said that we are not passing DORA before they say that they will be accountable, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it cannot be, and I have said this countless times on the floor of this House, it cannot be, Mr. Speaker, that when we are in the forest or when we are hunting for the money to go to counties, Mr. Speaker, we work very, very closely with the governors. But once they got the money, Mr. Speaker, they don't want to be accountable. There has to always be responsibility and accountability on the money that you receive. You cannot be a governor, and we shall not be lectured, and we shall not. In fact, I don't know who are the members of the Finance Committee who are here. The governors who are in the list of 29, they should not appear to represent the COG when COG is speaking about the money they want. I have seen that they had proposed to get 534 billion, Mr. Speaker. We have said at the Senate to be reasonable, we want to push 454 billion, Mr. Speaker. But those governors who have refused to appear before the Public Accounts Committee, who have refused to appear before the Public Investment Committee, those ones shall not be part, and we shall not fight with them. We shall not fight from the same direction, Mr. Speaker. I was saying, Mr. Speaker, in terms of permanently absorbing the workers who work in the universal health coverage, Mr. Speaker, there are about 7,000 workers who are in UHC, Mr. Speaker. I think this is so sad. Since 2020, when they were recruited, when we had a very huge pandemic, Mr. Speaker, the COVID pandemic, when they were recruited to help in terms of the rollout of the universal health coverage, Mr. Speaker,
these people who bear the brunt of, they are nurses, clinical officers, pharmacists, lab technicians, Mr. Speaker.
I know the senator for Meru wants his arrival to be recognized. We have recognized that you are here. Welcome, Vice Chairman of the Jury Check from Meru, and a very good friend of Murega Baichu. Mr. Speaker, sir, I was saying that as their contracts expire in April and September of 2026, Mr. Speaker, we must try and ensure that this money, 8.9 billion, we must try and ensure that this agenda of the UHC workers, Mr. Speaker, is addressed once and for all. We can't speak about it every year. We can't be, Mr. Speaker, speaking about this money every year, Mr. Speaker. Number two, and finally, as I wind up so that I allow Senator Charaga and the other people to speak about, we want the only way the people of Kenya who actually make sense of these bills that we speak about, and we keep saying that we want money to be pushed to counties, Mr. Speaker, is when they can see programs that they can actually relate to, Mr. Speaker. If you read, and I said it, Mr. Speaker, if you read it in Schedule 4 of the, I'm really being disturbed by Senator Chalagai, Speaker. You must address.
Order, Senator Chalagai. How can you be pronouncing point of order? The Speaker was left the chair. Why are you disturbing the honorable chair? That you on a point of order. What is your point?
I hope my time has been frozen. I am sure I have like 9 minutes.
Can you tell Senator Metu to sit? He is not somewhere in Olkalau. Mr. Speaker, I write understanding order 105, responsibility and statement of FACAN 110. Mr. Speaker, did you hear the last comment when he was welcome?